We are giving a voice to a Western New Yorker who is now officially a free man, pardoned by President Donald Trump for his role in the January 6th riots on Capitol Hill.
Thomas Sibick, an Amherst native, was one of 7 people from our region who were federally charged after the 2021 insurrection. Sibick admitting to assaulting a D.C. metropolitan officer during those riots, stealing their badge and radio. In July 2023, a judge sentencing him to more than 4 years behind bars, but 18 months later, he walked out of an Ohio prison this week. His sentence was among the 1,500 officially wiped off the record by the Trump administration. And we know these pardons are a controversial issue, and 7 News is a voice for everyone. So tonight, we want to bring you behind the headlines to share this Western New York's perspective.
In an exclusive interview, Sibick sat down with 7 News reporter Kristen Moran for a wide-ranging conversation. You'll hear the two talk about what he remembers from January 6th, the feeling of freedom, and if he feels remorse for his actions.
Right now, I'm feeling relieved. Home. Freedom is great.
You were just recently released from prison.
I was, yes.
What was that like?
There was ups and downs the whole time. I spent the last 16 months in federal prison in Ohio, and some days were easy, some days were much more difficult, but through the support and help of everybody and praying daily, I was able to make it through.
You're now sharing your side of things, your story. Why now?
Now is the only time I feel as though I can be 100% truthful and honest with what happened. There were certainly individuals that got out of control, but for the most part, it was a peaceful protest that took a turn for the worst.
Even though 5 people died, dozens of police officers were assaulted, you still don't view it as a violent attack, an insurrection on the Capitol?
No, not at all. It wasn't an insurrection by any means. That's been a word used over the years to paint us in a negative light.
2 years after the January 6th attack, a judge sentenced Thomas Sibick to more than 4 years in prison for assaulting Michael Fanone during the riots.
There is body-worn camera footage that shows you reaching toward the officer and forcibly removing his badge and his police radio. What was the intention of taking those?
The intention that day when I saw Officer Fanone being attacked was for me to assist in some way, and in that split second I thought I might be able to grab him by the vest where his badge was and kind of pull him away from the rioters that had him in a bear hug or that were assaulting him. That didn't work, so I immediately reached in and grabbed the antenna to the radio and attempted to call for help.
But this man said he was tasered, attacked, punched. He said he was fearing for his life. Afterwards, he was crying out during that and said that he has kids.
Correct.
You believe you were helping him?
I believe I had my best intentions at heart when I took on the actions that I did.
Do you apologize to Officer Fanone?
Do I apologize to Officer Fanone? It's a difficult question. I think Officer Fanone had his own intentions that day, but after the fact...
What do you mean by that?
He had his own intentions to try to assist and help the other officers and to secure the Capitol, which was his duty.
So you'll probably always believe that you did not assault Officer Fanone?
No, not at all. I never assaulted Officer Fanone.
Despite him suffering injuries, being right there in the middle of that body camera showing all of that happening?
That is correct.
You'll always believe that you did not assault him?
That is correct.
But Officer Fanone says now his family is less safe today because of President Trump and his supporters.
I have been betrayed by my country, and I've been betrayed by those that supported Donald Trump.
Do you feel that remorse?
I feel the remorse as far as me playing a part in the destruction that happened that day. But I didn't go there with any intentions. I didn't go there with any intentions to be destructive, to assault, impede, interfere with any law enforcement. I support law enforcement. And, you know, Officer Fanone, if you do hear this, I'm sorry if you think that I had anything to do with your attack. But just know I wanted to do something to help, and in that instant, I did what I thought was the right thing to do.
Kristen joins us now. Sibick's been free, what, 72 hours or so. What's next for him, Kristen?
Well, I talked to him about that, and he said, look, he wants to focus on his wife, his family that lives nearby, his career, and he also wants to focus on helping those who are incarcerated. Now, we will have this full 35-minute interview for you on our YouTube page.
We will look for it. Kristen Moran, thank you.